already, depending on the country, where there is not enough sunshine, it is still expensive. But a country like India, like Africa, Middle East, there are plenty of sunshine, so that it is now cheaper than any other alternative energy sources. And storage also getting so much cheaper. And very soon, these two combinations, storage plus solar or storage plus wind, this combination will be the ultimate best combination. Clean, sustainable, renewable, and safe. Okay? And affordable, cheaper than anything else. So especially I chose the India as the a big first country that I would like to support. Because India has a great sunshine, and it's a big wasteland, okay, and also supportive government. Big sunshine, big land, beautiful country. So to have even 1 terawatt of generation, power generation, solar plants, the vision of the government is 500 gigawatt, as I said. But even twice of that, twice of the vision of the 500 gigawatts, even 1 terawatt, how much land of India do you need? It's only 1%, less than 1%. Less than 1% will provide entire electricity generation that you need. That's a lot. And India has something like 13% or something like that of the wasteland. The land that is too hot for agriculture products to grow. So it is not used for anything. People don't live there. There's no agriculture, nothing for big land. So out of those unused wasteland, if you pick only 1% of the entire land of India, you have entire electricity source generation by solar. This is fantastic. So PM Modi and I discussed, even including yesterday, and there is also security of energy. So India is now importing $88 billion crude oil, $22 billion coal imports. So together, $110 billion of import, depending on outside of India. So when anything happens, energy security, energy crisis will happen in this country. To serve over 1 billion people, you have energy crisis when it happens. We have to have this security, independence of the energy source by itself. Even in this 1 year, even in 1 year, 20% increase in the cost of petrol. So it is important to have no dependency of one energy source. Okay? Sunshine is a gift of the God. That's available even though you use the outcome of sunshine. You are not damaging anybody. You are not damaging any environment. So this is beautiful. And technology is coming so great. So I have a special offer, which I spoke to PM Modi yesterday. I volunteer, not anybody asking me. I volunteer. Free power, free electricity after 25 years. What does it mean? I want to offer this to India, but not only India, but any ISA countries. Any ISA members, I'd like to offer free electricity after 25 years out of the solar power generation, which we create. Okay? What does it mean? Everybody talk about 25 years. When you talk about solar energy, solar electricity plant, everybody talk about 25 years because it is a 25 years power purchase agreement. The government pays to the vendors for 25 years with a fixed price that you agree in day one. And the companies do the project finance to recoup the investment in 25 years. So nobody talks about what happened after 25 years. Nobody is talking about it. It's a subject nobody talking about. So I'd like to talk about that. What happened after 25 years? The solar plant keep on generating electricity for 100 years. Conservatively speaking, 80 years, definitely, for sure. So after 25 years, remaining 55 years, remaining 60 years, remaining 80 years, the solar panel is a product of crystal. It is a wafer of silicon. It is a crystal. Crystal end of the change of the material. So it is no longer going to change to anything else. It's a crystal. It's the end stage. So as long as you clean the dust, as long as there is a sunshine, it keep on generating electricity for the remaining 55 years, 60 years, 80 years remaining. So if you have a small country, small land, you want to replace with the new, more efficient panel. But when you have a huge land, you do not need to replace with a new panel, because after 25 years, if I say electricity is free, why do you need to replace with a new panel? If it is free, if it keep on generating, if the land is not the limiting factor, it's a wasteland. So I say, as long as you have the land, as long as you have the sunshine, as long as you have the ears and the eyes listening to me, I will give you free electricity. Why can I do that? Because we do the project finance. We recoup our investment. I am an industrialist. I'm a businessman. I have to recoup my investment. I have to do project finance. I have to borrow money from the banks. I have to pay them back with the interest. I have to pay them back to the shareholders with some reasonable return in 25 years. But after 25 years, how much more greed do you have to have? I am making enough money in my own business. I don't need to be greedier. So this, as I said, why did I start this project? It's not for my greed, not for my money. I have my main business. I am making plenty of money. So there's a limit in the greed. As long as you know there's a limit in the greed, I have to pay back to the people who support us, to pay back to the society I have to pay back to the earth that we live in. So after 25 years, since we recouped for the shareholders, for the banks, for the project, I don't need any more greed. So as long as I said, sunshine, as long as there is a land, as long as we have the support of the people, I would like to give free electricity to the people and the society. Because I think the kids, they are the treasure of our family, of our society. Born in the rich family, or if they are born in the poor family, they have to have equal rights, equal opportunity to study, even in the evening. Only rich kids can study in the evening with electricity, and the poor kids cannot study in the evening because there is no electricity. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's fair to the kids. We should provide electricity to any kids, poor or rich. They have to have equal opportunity to study. We have to provide electricity to the mothers who cook for the family. They're cooking without electricity and they're dying because of the choking of the gas, because of the choking of the whatever their things. I'd like to save them. I'd like to provide electricity to the farmers to pump the water. Poor or rich, they have to have equal opportunity. So in the last 20th century, electricity provides great outcome to the mankind. But also, it has created great, divide of the country who had a lot of electricity to the country against the country who had no electricity. So the lifestyle had a big divide. Well, as I said, sunshine is the gift of the God. So after we recoup, let's give free electricity to any people, any society. Quicker we do, quicker free electricity come. Bigger we do, more people would be saved with free electricity. That's what I want to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Masayoshi-san, for that excellent presentation. You can see the audience, I'm sure there are lots of questions, but just to kick off with a few points that you mentioned and in response to them. Masayoshi-san, yesterday we heard the Prime Minister reiterate the aspiration for India's renewable energy sector, and you spoke about some of the discussions that you have had with him. And he said that India is developing with a new self-confidence from poverty to power. And you talked about also, and by 2030, we really aim to achieve 40% of our energy usage coming from solar, wind, and biomass. How can we work together to achieve this target? Given that today we are one of the fastest growing economy in the world, and also one very important point that you touched upon are the aspirations of people, aspiration of a large number of people who will require equal opportunity.
Yeah, I think that only one thing we need, that is a passion. As long as we have a passion to help people, as long as we have a passion to solve issues, I think things can get done. Money is not the issue, right? Technology is not the issue anymore. We have a solution. We will make it happen. So as long as we share the passion, bring the hand together, we can make it happen.
And I think from what you were saying, you did see that passion in India.
Yes.
And that's where your hope came from, and you saw that you said that a strong leadership and a supportive government, along with the prerequisites of a wasteland or a sunshine, but you saw a very good combination, and that's where the hope and the confidence is coming from.
Yes. Yes. So we are already doing a few gigawatts of solar and renewable energy generation already. And we have done enough experience. We understand technology. We understand operation. We understand how to make it happen. So it's no longer, as I said, no longer technology issue. We have money. There is a land. There's a sunshine. So all we need to do is just execute. We can make it happen. And I'm saying we are starting, from Japan, India, Saudi, but I'd like to offer what I said, free electricity after 25 years. I'd like to offer this to any members of ISA. Just talk to our guys. We will provide you. We will provide to any of you.
Masayoshi-san, one of the point that you just now said, and really going back to again what the Prime Minister said yesterday, he spoke about the ISA, which is India's signature contribution to the world, if one can say, to fight against climate change. He said of replacing OPEC as the prime contributor of energy to the world. And what you were saying about the free power over a period of time and the opportunity, this also indicates a huge transformation from fossil fuel to renewable. So what are the ways you would recommend that the ISA can nurture innovations, which is actually going to be so critical to make really that call that the Prime Minister had given yesterday to make it a reality?
Well, innovation is happening by a great competition among industry people. So each companies compete by themselves without any push. Right? The demand is coming and technology is evolving. So this is a big movement. Nobody can stop, and it's happening everywhere. Now, as I said, in the sunshine countries, the solar is already lowest cost. So I think there's no issue. It's already happening. It's a great movement.
So
By the way, the oil has its own use, other than what it's mainly used today.
Yeah.
Petrochemical has a lot of demand, and it will take time to replace with the electric vehicles. So oil itself has a huge potential. I don't want to deny their value, and they have a great future, but it goes into the different usage. Okay, petrochemical with the plastic, with all kinds of carbon fiber, and the many products has a lot of usage also.
So just moving on to the issue of the supergrid, do you think what's your idea on for Asia, say for instance, for building up a supergrid?
Yeah. So people say, well, sunshine is not every day and wind is not all the time. But if you connect the super grid across different countries, sunshine is shining somewhere all the time. Wind is blowing somewhere all the time. So internet and telephony network is connected around the world many, many times. So if the electricity cable can get connected, like internet is connected, the world get connected eventually with a renewable energy that spin all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But as you talked about the entire world, I'd like to also pick your ideas and your thoughts on Africa. And what are your plans on Africa? And that's going to be a very, very critical continent in this gameplay over the next many years.
Yeah, as I said, 20th century, the innovation by Mr. Edison, the electricity, provide a great outcome to the mankind. But also it created a divide between the countries which had electricity and not enough electricity. And the biggest number of deaths caused is by mosquito. Mosquito kills more people than anything else. If the electricity comes to Africa, the mosquito, goes away. So electricity to Africa is very, very important to save people's life, to bring them 20th century, 21st century lifestyle. This is going to give equal opportunity to the kids in Africa. That is very, very important.
Absolutely. I'd like to move on to the basic startup ecosystem and culture in India, and take your attention as to how we can work towards building the new Silicon Valleys here. Cities like Bangalore, Gurgaon, Hyderabad, and many other cities are becoming or emerging to become the new startup hubs in the country. And they include both the angel as well as the seed investors, venture capital at all stages, mentors, incubators, and entrepreneurs. So given that, are you really looking at launching the next Vision Fund in 2019?
Yeah, I don't want to say when exactly, but definitely we are continuing Vision Fund investment. As you may know, we created a $100 billion Vision Fund last year. The worldwide venture capital community is $65 billion worldwide, excluding Softbank. So Silicon Valley, China, Europe, Japan, India, all around the world together is $65 billion. And suddenly we create a $100 billion fund. And many people said, Masa, there is not that many opportunities to invest. But I said, no, that's wrong. I'm proving there are more opportunities and with a great return. And I'm going to continue that.
Right. We have a few minutes, just a couple of questions from the floor. Please introduce yourself and make a very sharp, quick question.
My name is Dr. Sharma. I have been part of the think tank of India. My question, you made some very visionary statements. Oil, coal, gas, and even human being and nature, we are all part of sun. And sun is going to last forever. These things are going to last for a very short period of time. Now, there's one small thing which I just want to know from you as an investor. If we have a look at the last 5 years' data on investment, the total investment on energy is about $1.7 trillion US. Out of that, only $300 billion is being spent on renewables. Now, this investment is stagnant for the last 5 years. What measures should be taken to increase investment on sun, on renewable energy, to replace the coal, oil, and gas, which has become a big greed, be it OPEC or be it the Chicago Mercantile Exchange? Thank you.
I'll take one more question and hand over to you. Yeah, please.
Hello. Yeah, my name is Kamaljeet. I have a question. You said 25 years after that free. What is the life cycle of the crystalline solar panel? Because after 25 years, the efficiency level will come down drastically and it won't be producing much electricity. And who will maintain those panels after that? Question number 2. Softbank, along with the consortium, bid for a solar power plants in India. It was rejected by Government of India. What are the reasons and how do you react to that? The Government of India is saying that you bid very high price for the tariffs of the power plant. Thank you.
So let's move on. Yeah, I'll take the last one, please. Yeah.
Let me answer before I forget.
Yes. Just 1 second. Yeah.
So I think that new investment, I don't know I forgot the exact number.
Yeah.
No, but new investment is mostly happening in renewables. China, for example, the majority of investment for the new plants is now being into the renewable. US also the same. I think only the replacing existing thermal plants is maybe happening, but reducing in proportion on and on. Because, as I said, in many countries, renewable already became cheaper than the thermal.
Yeah.
So it is very natural for business people to decide what is cheaper, but also clean and sustainable. So it's a big movement happening. I'm not concerned at all. Okay. And the second question was what was the second?
Silicon.
Life of silicon. So as I have shown in the chart, okay, the first 5 years or so, 100%. Please listen. I'm answering to you.
Yes,
okay?
I'm listening.
The first 5 years or so, 100% capacity become 90 and 85. After 85, it stays 85. On and on. So for 80 years or so, 85 capacity is maintained flat. So it's not 25 years as a life. It is almost 80 years to 100 years. Only what you need is cleaning dust. So we have developed the robots that clean the dust. Even without water, it will clean the dust with a robot. The electricity for the robot is being also charged by the solar itself. So it's almost an ecosystem, it's running by itself. Okay?
Who will pay for the
Thank you.
maintenance?
No,
It will be able to maintain. Don't worry.
Yeah. So
Second
no,
question
we'll
is about
conclude
the
that.
bids,
Please.
which Softbank took in.
Excuse me. We'll continue that offline.
You are asking questions, sir.
Yeah, but we have you have run out of time. Please, you have asked your question. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to conclude this session as we are really completely running out of time. And but before that, I'd like to really sincerely thank you, Masa-san, for taking out time for this session, for taking out time for India, for your continued commitment to India. We are indeed most fortunate to see you over and over again. Renew your commitment and your patience with India, and we look forward to your continued engagement with India in the years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking Masa-san for that excellent question.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Excellent.
CB, can I request you on behalf of the organizers here to thank Mr. Masayoshi Son for his truly inspirational and motivational speech and talk, interesting talk, a small token of appreciation from all of us. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue with the Chief Minister's session right away. Please remain seated.